Hello, 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 everyone. We are back at this thing again. I don't know about y'all, but I am kind of excited to be here for this Sunday. I am going to go ahead and set the room how it needs to be. So if you are coming in and joining me live now, I promise you, I haven't gotten started. I haven't said too much. Y'all know how I got to do each and every Sunday. Got to make sure I can connect with my people like I'm supposed to. Okay, so it looks like everything is going good and I am firing on all cylinders possible. Cool. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to this new Sunday adventure. Welcome to another episode of the Sunday Sit Down with yours truly, Nicole LaTreece. I am she is me, and we are excited to have you join us on this part of your journey. So, we are currently talking about the mind reset process. And I don't know what brought you to this space. I don't know how you feel about being in this space. I'm open to hearing anything and everything that you'd like to share that would be able to help you along your journey. And if you don't feel like you're comfortable just yet, well, hey, keep rocking out with your girl so we can get comfortable together with being uncomfortable. Because when you're in a space of being uncomfortable, then you know that you're actually growing. You know that things are actually changing in your life. You know that you are giving into the changes that are necessary to facilitate the type and the way of life that it is that you want to live when your spidey senses are tingling, when something doesn't feel right, when something feels off, when um, you get this pull or this call to change, give into it, listen to it, take heed to it, make the most of it. Like it's meant to be something that you're going through. So whatever brought you through and to this point of encountering or engaging, sorry, with me, we're intentional about performing a mind reset, taking you on that part of your journey because if you have gotten to a point to where you realize certain things aren't serving you and certain things aren't meant for you any longer, whether that's people, places, things, your career, other experiences, the way you've done things before. If you've gotten to a point to where you feel like those things, those way of thinking, those experiences are no longer serving you before you decide to move on and to move forward, please take the time to perform a mind reset. The purpose of the mind reset is to one, allow those things that previously weren't serving you, that fed into ultimately making you who you became up until that point. You got to give those things time to begin to fall away or fully come to the surface so you can really deal with what it is versus what you would like for it to be. And then also, I ask you to perform a mind reset because you have to get into the middle space, the space in between what you previously experienced and before you get to what you're meant to experience, there is a space in the middle and in between that you have to find, you have to get into, you have to settle into, you have to grow through. Because if you don't allow yourself that space, then you can't completely reset your mind to it's like a filter. So in the previous experiences you've been taking and taking and taking in all these different things that depending on how long you've been taking them in, how long you've been experiencing them, they've been something that has helped to form the person that you became throughout all of those experiences. But hopefully, if you're listening to this episode right now, then you understand those things are not what you want anymore. They're not serving you. So now you have to get into the filtering place, the place where you can continue to let those things come in, But if they are not the right things, if they are not reduced down to the finest particles of what they're meant to be in order to go through the sifting, then you know that they're not for you. I don't know if you've ever I bake on the side. So sometimes I have to use fresh fruit actually blended up into my um cakes and cupcakes and things like that. I have a really good strawberry recipe that I make, and it literally tastes like you're biting into a strawberry because I have to blend up the strawberries to the finest point, but I still have to sift it or filter it through the screen in order to make sure that the right contents that are supposed to make it into the cake are what makes it into the cake. And what is a little bit heavier, what is a little bit more grittier, what hasn't been fully blended down to the right consistency, it stays in the sift. It stays in the contraption that contains it. And then depending on what it is, if I can reuse it in another way, I'll reuse it in another way. This is for a baking analogy. Keep that in mind. But ultimately, what remains in the sift was not the right content. It was not the right texture. It was not refined down enough to continue to make it through the smallest of the smallest filtering system to where now it stays in the sift. And what's in the sift ultimately, it stays in the sift or it gets thrown away. I'm the type of person Imma throw what's in the sift away because the real purpose that I have, I've extracted that. This is what's left of what I don't need. I'm going to put that in the trash because it's what I don't need. So that's the middle space. That's the holding pattern. I kid you not. Like these analogies and these illustrations and these references, they come to me in the midst of me having these conversations with you. Like I don't think about these things ahead of time. I don't, oh yeah, that's a good analogy. I'm gonna put that in there. No, it just genuinely comes out in the midst of me having these conversations with you. So right now, the sift is your North Star, which is what we're continuing to talk about tonight, finding your North Star. Your North Star is the thing that everything that you do, everything that motivates you, everything that means something to you, everything that is a part of you ultimately getting to where it is that you want to be, being the type of person that you are, having the level of life that you want to have, being remembered for whatever you want to be remembered for, what your legacy actually looks like, how you walk in goodness. My TC people know what that is. All of that goes through the sift of your North Star. And if it doesn't make it through the North Star sifting, then it's not meant to be something that goes with you moving forward. So tonight we're going to continue discovering your North Star on this mind reset journey. Finding your North Star. This is the guide, a guide to uncovering your why in the mind reset journey. Finding your North Star, like I mentioned in last episode, it is your deeper why in life. Operating from surface level ish, it's old, it's tired, it's played out. It doesn't really get you anywhere. It causes you to miss opportunities and blessings and to fumble or mishandle the people that were meant to be in your life that help to shape your vision of your North Star, to help you get to that deeper sense of why. Operating on surface level ish will destroy more than you actually know as being someone who operates on surface level ish. I was telling two of my friends, it's like, I know the way I think, and the way I think is not like most people. I don't see things not physically. I don't see things like most people do. And in my world, it's a blessing and a curse because not everybody is ready for the way that I see things. And even those who may entertain it just a little bit is just like only so much can go in before, things for them are on overload. But then I do have a very select few that is just like they really rocking with it. They engaging in it and it helps them and me to be able to uncover like why. I had a conversation earlier when I went for a walk with a really good friend and she was like, "But like how are you feeling?" I'm like, "Oh, like I feel how I feel." And for some people, that'll just be like a blanket statement, like, "Oh, well, she don't feel nothing," or like she's not feeling too much. Like, no, I feel deeply, but because of how deeply I feel, and because of the experience that is causing these feelings and these thoughts and these emotions in me, they're filtering through my North Star right now. And in the process of that filter, I kid you not, there are two major instances that have happened in my life within a matter of 4 days, no, 3, ultimately 4 days apart from each other, significant things that have happened to where once they went through the filter of what my North Star is, they didn't make it. One told me that's not what it's gonna be, and the other one I told that's not what it's gonna be. But neither one of them, neither one of the experiences ultimately made it through the filter of my North Star. They sit in the sift, and now I'm in the process of discarding it, intentionally discarding it because my North Star, they weren't in alignment with those things. And what came out of the sifting process, what I realized that I truly need, what I realized that I truly want, what I realized that I truly desire for my life to look like. One situation led me to really discover getting back to my own because I'm capable of doing it. I've done it in other capacities for other people. No, it's my time. I don't need nobody else telling me how I'm gonna go about this. I'm just gonna go about it. And the other situation is just like, "Oh, okay. I've seen absolutely everything and all that I needed to be able to see in the process of what was sifting through this North Star. No, I'm good. Don't worry about it. It will never come back around. The presence or the present of my presence has been ultimately removed from that situation as a whole, and I'm okay with it because I'm blessed to be able to continue to move forward. I'm blessed to be able to continue to see my North Star getting brighter and shining like it's supposed to because now there's no clouds covering up my vision. Last episode, I talked about how, like, the symbolism of the North Star is it's a fixed point of navigation, meaning it doesn't change. We may think that it changes. We may think that it looks a little bit differently. We may think that it's hanging in the sky at a different point. No, we have moved, but the North Star remains a fixed point of navigation. When you're navigating something, you're looking to get to a specific destination, whether you know what that destination is, or even if you don't, you're just ready to move forward and you know you have to move forward. I don't say move on because it's a whole lot of experiences and lessons and accountability and so much that needs to be uncovered in the process of moving forward as opposed to moving on. People like to ignore those things when it comes to moving on. They like to take their sight off of their North Star in the process of moving on. But when you're moving forward, it's like, okay, I'm looking at this thing and I'm continuing to move forward. That means I'm getting further from everything that was behind me now. And I'm moving forward into what it is that I'm actually supposed to be doing, supposed to be feeling, supposed to be thinking, supposed to be looking like, supposed to be feeling like, supposed to be smelling like everything. When I focus on my North Star, I'm focused on that fixed point of navigation, which guides explorers to their destinations. In moving forward, you're constantly deciding to move to a destination. You're moving from a destination to a new one. In between, there's some uncomfortable, a lot of things that are uncomfortable, but the North Star continues to let us know, me know, hopefully you too, but me know I'm moving forward in the right direction. Because when I move forward towards my North Star, like I said, it gets brighter. In the mind reset journey, your North Star serves as your internal compass. When you are sure of your why, other people's unsureness, uncertainty, ambiguity, foolishness, none of that will matter. None of that will really impact you because your internal compass is focused in the direction that you have destined to go. I have been challenged with that a lot lately. And yeah, my North Star, as I see it right now, is my peace. I'm literally not willing to trade that for anyone or anything, even though other people and other things have tried to make me do it. But if it walk like a duck, quack like a duck, look like a duck, it's still a dang duck. I'm not here for no ducks other than the ones that I saw in the pond today. And some of them was on point. I'm sitting up here talking, and next thing I know, a duck is quacking. But based on what I said, it sounded like the duck laughed at the exact moment, and it was confirmation of, yeah, that's some foolishness. But it came on time. It was confirmation. All right, you duck. I'm not fooling with you no more. I'm not playing these duck games. You can go find somebody else who gonna listen to that quack quack, somebody else who gonna be a duck right along with you. As for me, we swans over here. I'm not even trying to be in the same pond with some ducks. You feel me? But let me not go too crazy because, yeah, it's still raw. As I said a minute ago, your North Star in life is your purpose or your why. It is the very reason why you feel the way you feel, why you think the way you think, why you live the way you live, why you are the way you are, why you are pursuing what you are pursuing in the manner in which you are pursuing it. But if you're not pursuing it for the right reasons or necessarily in the right way, you think you're looking at the North Star, but you could be looking at the Little Dipper, or you could be looking at Orion. Those constellations are in other parts of the sky, which will take you somewhere else, not to the place that the North Star is meant to lead you. The North Star, your North Star, I'm going to stop saying we're going to make this personal. We're going to really get into it. Like I said, it's the reason behind what you do. It also helps to keep you aligned to your true self. Your North Star could be other people in your life who hold you accountable. I know that's a cuss word. I just said accountability. There are some people in this world who still, for some unknown reason, they can be held accountable in corporate America, but for some reason, they can't stand being held accountable by other people in their lives for whatever reason. But maybe your North Star needs to be accountability if you know you ain't living right. Align yourself with that. Maybe there's a part of you that needs to do the shadow work to figure out what it is that you're not really ready to tap into, what you're really not ready to come to the surface. I have that, to a certain extent, how I was talking about. I don't feel comfortable looking in the mirror, like sitting there, no music, no nothing else, just me in the mirror. I don't know why. I'm doing the work, I'm embracing what I need to embrace, but there's a whole different level when you sit there and you look at yourself and you let your thoughts of yourself run rampant. They just run wild. I can handle what other people have to say about me more than I can handle what I have to say or feel about myself. Hey, I'm a work in progress, but I'm actively working on that progress. Put that on a shirt. The North Star, it matters in a mind reset because when we reset our minds, it's easy to lose sight of what we truly value. The North Star helps us stay focused on what really matters when old patterns, limiting beliefs, or past people try to pull us back. That is the way that the universe works. When you move forward, something or someone is going to try to pull you back because that's your test to see if you really serious and if you really ready about what you need to do in order to move forward, like fully move forward. Not that I take 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Like, no, I'm only moving forward. Bump that, bump them, forward ever, backward never. That's what my old kinesiology teacher used to tell me in college. Forward ever, backward never. You done lived that life. You done been through that thing. Even in your mind, stop reliving it. Figure out what you need to figure out for what the truth is of the situation. But don't keep running the situations down. Don't keep running the conversations back. It is what it is. If it's not a part of what you have right now in this process of determining your North Star, it ain't meant to be in your focus. It ain't meant to be in your life. It is not something that is serving you and guiding you and pushing you forward to where it is that you're meant to go. Reset your mind. Life's challenges and confusions are inevitable, but with your North Star, you always know how, when, and where to realign. You're going to get thrown off kilter. You're going to have things that are just like really going to try to mess you up, especially when you're in the process of doing really good work. Your North Star is, nah, bump that. I done came too far. I done did too much work. My North Star says none of that is for me. None of that serves me. None of that is a part of what I want in my next set, in my next step in life. North Star, all right, cool. I'm focused on you. God, keep them people away from me. That's how I operate. Because I see from my peripheral what's going on. But at the same time, no, I'm focused on this. I'm focused on my North Star. I'm focused on my progress. I'm focused on moving forward. I'm focused on getting to obtaining the life that it is that I want to live. Shoot, right now, I'm focused on paying attention to minding my business and growing the business that pays me. Because if I get the opportunity to look at too many people's foolishness, I see more than what those people see engaging in their foolishness. I see the impact of how it can precede them and start to mess up other things that they have going on. I see how it becomes a distraction. And if I'm able to notice what they're doing, that becomes a distraction to me. And they're already living in a space of confusion because they can't see what's going on. They can't see it for what it fully is. But I'm not trying to be distracted or confused any longer. I've had too many signs to say that's not my life, that's not my assignment. My life is good. My life is simple. My life is abundant. My life is prosperous. I wish that for everybody else too, but if everybody ain't on the pursuit of that, then everybody's not going to get it for themselves. Like, for real. And it's very unfortunate because it doesn't have to stop you. The challenges that you face, the things that you go through, like it's a part of what we all face, what we all go through, but at the same time, you don't have to let that be the thing that ultimately stops you. Like, explore what you need to do, what you need to ignore, what you need to move on from in order to be able to move forward for how you need to. But maybe even at the beginning of your mind reset process, maybe you need to give yourself time to discover how you even got to the point of needing to do a mind reset in the first place. So I give y'all a couple of real world examples. Some of these have been shared with some of my clients, so I've asked for permission in order to be able to talk about this information with them. But you know, I had one client, and I think I may have said this last week, but they were faced with overcoming distraction and confusion. So, like I said, there is a client who was lost in life. Like, they were just in the motion of moving forward, but not really moving forward. They had become conditioned to knowing how to function amidst the chaos, knowing how to just keep moving forward in any direction and in any way, just so they wouldn't have to feel what it was ultimately that they needed to feel. They were struggling really with being overwhelmed in too many distractions through taking them through the same process that I'm taking you guys on now, just more on a personal level, specifically to their situation and what they were facing. Like, they found their North Star, and their North Star actually was being able to teach, to be able to give of their wisdom to others for the betterment of them. And through that, they were able to realign and refocus. Maybe you may be the type of person that hardships really have the capacity to get you down. So I had another client, we had to work on developing resilience through hardships. And I've been there before. Like, there are times in life where stuff is just like, oh, child, it's really hard, or it goes on for a long period of time, or it's thing after thing after thing. You come out of one thing, you back into something else, or it's like swimming. You swimming, you come up for air, you pull right back down. All right, cool. Now, Mario, I'm swimming back to the surface, and then I'm coming back. Like, whatever it is, those are the types of things that can help you build resilience through hardship. So I had a client who faced extreme difficulties, but never gave up the focus of their North Star once I introduced that information to them. And it was introduced to them as a means of being able to, who are you? What do you want to be remembered for in your life, and who would have the greatest significance of being able to say the way that they remembered you. But through them being a role model for their children, that was their North Star, wanting to also break those generational curses that they had experienced themselves. The understanding and the uncovering of their children being their North Star, it led them to understanding that that purpose kept them grounded even in tough times, knowing that they could be who their kids needed them to be. Oh, Lord. All right. I hear you. Mm. Y'all have to forgive me. There are some things that I am currently actively, intentionally, and purposefully trying to let go of. But in the midst of me helping and having these conversations with you, I can't not hear what I'm saying to myself, because I'm speaking into and over some of the things that I'm experiencing at the same time. So that last part of, ultimately their kids being their North Star and doing what they needed to do to be a good role model for their children, that one hit a little too close to home for me in this present moment, but it is cool because I feel the same way. Uh, so for me personally, I I'm in therapy, and recently we started working on or uncovering a new set of goals. And one of the goals that I personally have for myself is I want to stop procrastinating. And specifically, I want to stop procrastinating in the means of not making certain decisions when I know that I need to. Forget I don't want to. If it is something that I know that I need to do, all right, cool. So in a recent situation, um, if I don't do anything else, I am graceful in everything that I do. That's a bar. What I mean by that is I am not the type of person that really just goes off on people, right? I'm not going to let you get away with anything, but in the sake of this story that I'm sharing with you, it is a comparison of the women that talk to men crazy, that hit on their men, that belittle their men, that just ultimately talk down to them when that man is no longer serving a purpose that they once did in their lives, or that man is no longer serving the purpose or providing the benefit of what that woman previously wanted. I told a couple friends recently, like, I wish I was more petty than what I actually am when it comes to transitioning out of all of my relationships, but mostly my interactions with men, especially when men have done foolish things. Um, so I decided to walk away from my previous experience, and you guys have been, kind of witnesses bearing part to that. That's intentional so I can be held accountable. But in the words of Pac, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. I got pushed and I still didn't go off when I got pushed. And I had every right to go off being in the midst of being pushed. But the Lord just would not let me do it. My peace wouldn't let me do it. But it was agitating me, it was agitating my spirit to not be able to say anything that I wanted to say. No, I have a boundary, and that boundary was violated. I'm going to say something. So, nicely, no cussing, no, no nothing, no belittling, no degrading, no none of that. I'm going to tell you what it is just as calmly as I'm telling you this story now. And then I am going to leave that with you, and I'm going to leave you in the midst of that. And that is what happened. I don't care what the person is thinking. I don't care how they feeling. I don't care none of it. Because when I did care, it didn't matter. When I was trying to include you in the pursuit of my North Star, yeah, you was where Orion, the Little Dipper, any of the other constellations were. You weren't in pursuit of my North Star with me. And I see that the blindness on your journey, it has taken you to a place where you just really don't know what is literally coming your way. You literally don't know what you were already experiencing prior to connecting with me or connecting with this new experience that you have going on. But I know way more than what you think I know. So now that that confirmation has been provided, there ain't nothing to talk about. You can do you, boo boo. You can think you having fun until that fun gonna have you. But my North Star and all of that continue to shine bright because I don't have to go low just because you tried to drag me down. I'm a high operating, high functioning, elevated, intentionally elevated type woman. All right. You moved around to something that wasn't. That's on you, not on me. And I've gone through a myriad of like low key wars within myself of fear and doubt and, like believing in God that He can turn all things for my good. There's nothing impossible that He can't do. He can change this very person. But the part I wasn't being honest with is, Lord, I want you to change him for me. And the Lord is like, baby girl, that's not possible. I need to change you to get away from him. But it brought me deeper to my purpose. It brought me to the situation of understanding I'm not necessarily mad at him. You can't I'm thinking back to my therapist and he recently shared with me the story of the frog and the scorpion. And you can't get mad at somebody's true nature. You can get upset when all of a sudden they show it to you, but it's up to you whether you accept it or you don't. And when I say accept it or you don't, there's two levels to that. That's accepted in align with the foolishness or accept it and understand that it is foolishness that is out of alignment with you. I'm that second type of person. When I see the foolishness and it's out of alignment with me, no, I'm not going to subject myself to that. But the last move that was made was 100% what brought full clarity to the decision that I had to make and to the understanding that I had to come to. When I entered into the situation, there wasn't anything per se that I was looking for. Now, what I started looking for came about later, but I had already engaged in so much time of the space of I hadn't been looking for anything. So now being on the other side fully of that situation, I still had nothing. But I can't get mad because I've been left with nothing and I wasn't looking for anything in the first place. All right, moving forward, I will never enter into a situation where there is not something that I am looking for in the individual, in the experience, in the situation as itself. Like, no, I have to be looking for something or I'm not going to be engaging with it at all. I needed that clarity. I needed, like I said, that to come about so that my North Star can shine brighter and continue to lead me in the right direction. Because in the midst of that story that I shared, like it takes me to like my next point. There was a lot of discomfort that I have experienced within my life in the past 2 years. But I have lived in the midst of that discomfort and I've pushed myself to a certain extent to keep going through the discomfort, not the disrespect, not the disregard, not the dismissing the discomfort because the discomfort is mine. Those other three things, that's what that situation tried to bring about. But discomfort is a part of the process of a mind reset. It's a part of the process of uncovering your North Star. The journey to discovering your North Star isn't always comfortable. It's not meant to be. Life itself ain't meant to be comfortable. It's a process. When you face limiting beliefs, it can be unsettling to realize just how restricted you've been. But that discomfort is a signal, a sign, a confirmation of growth. It's just like when you stretch a muscle. So after you get done working out, now this I can recall from working out. If y'all remember last week, I said I don't like working out. But once you get done working out, you have to stretch. When you get done running, for all my avoidant people, when you get done running, that soreness is still going to be in your body that you are going to need to stretch. And when you feel that tension, when you feel that pull, when you feel that um the stress of the constriction, then kind of stretching out, when you feel that lactic acid moving around in them legs that you've been using to run for as long as you've been running from whatever you've been running from, that means you're expanding. That means things are growing. That mean what was little has now become more. It's become greater. It's become bigger. It's become stronger. But you wouldn't get those types of results without going through the process of discomfort. Now, discomfort ain't for everybody. There are some people who, when they get the experience of discomfort, they like, no, I'm gonna push through and I'm gonna move forward through this discomfort. And then you get some people who discomfort is a brick wall. They run smack dab into it and they're like, oh, cool, I can't go no further because this discomfort is right here, because I don't want to experience this, because I don't want to be held accountable, because I don't want to be told I'm not a person of integrity, because I don't want to be told I lie, because I don't want to be told that I need to do better for the people that I have in my life that look up to me, that I care for, whatever the reason may be. If you come up against discomfort and you let it stop you, oh, the life that you're not going to live. Because you can't get to anything that you want to get to without going through the experience of discomfort. So if you are realizing that there are hurt people in your lives that are hurting you, if you realize that you have been fumbled or mishandled, if you realize that the way you've been going about doing things for the 25, 40, 60 years of life that you've been doing them and you feel like they need to change, guess what? You about to go through some real discomfort. You about to get to that place of uncomfortability. And I don't even know if that's a word, but it's going to be a whole word today. You have to go through that before you can move forward into the quality of life that it is that you want to live. And one of the primary ways that you're going to have to do that is you're going to have to face the fear of change. Many people resist their North Star because it requires, not suggests, not recommends, not offers. It requires change. And change is oftentimes uncomfortable. However, the old patterns and the limiting beliefs have them stuck. Like I said, they get to that, they look at it as a brick wall to begin with. That's a limiting belief. Anytime they come up against a brick wall, whether it is the uncovering of the things that they need to change about themselves, the discovery of the ways that they go about things, or the type of person that they actually are is not a good person and that they need to change it, or the space of maybe your kid asked you a question. If y'all got younger kids, they don't have no filter. It's like, mama, why your stomach hang out like that? You know what? You right. I need to go ahead and tighten that up. Or I need to change my diet in order to be able to make sure that I'm putting good in so good comes out, meaning my outwardly appearance is good. Maybe you're someone like me who has essentially been put through the proverbial ringer of seeing how other people in other situations need to change, but you see that they're stuck. It's like, Lord, what am I supposed to do with that? This ain't even my story. This ain't even my assignment. I don't have a way to contact that person to give them the information that you're clearly making me think of without compromising myself. If you want to be stuck in discomfort, I'm sorry, the type of person, the type of coach I am, I'll let you sit in that discomfort. I'm still gonna be here when you're ready to get out of it and you're ready to make the real change and move forward. But other than that, no, I can't sit in that discomfort with you because I don't want to become your level of uncomfortable. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that looks like. That wasn't meant for me. That's not my space. That's not how I operate. So I encourage you to embrace the discomfort. And I'm here to remind you that the unknown often holds the most potential. The unknown is scary, especially when you're dealing with other people. But that still doesn't mean that there isn't a good work, a fruitful work that cannot be produced on the other side of embracing the unknown. Also, question for you, when we're talking about this level of discomfort, will you run, track star, or be stretched? What I mean by that is, will you run from the discomfort of transformation? If you come to a point in your life and things are telling you that they need to change, or if you are someone like me who calls for change, who calls for something different, if you're calling, either matter of fact, either way, if change is coming to you and it's based on the transformation that you need, what does it benefit you to sit in your discomfort? Your discomfort ultimately doesn't get you anywhere. You may not be able to see that it's not getting you anywhere, but those around you will clearly continue to tell you. It's up to you whether you're going to listen or you're going to continue to run from it. So, will you run from the discomfort of transformation or allow yourself to be stretched into a new version of yourself? Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is, and put your name in there. That's where I'm trying to be. Like the situation, both situations actually that I mentioned earlier, they're new, they're fresh. Like one was 4 days ago, the ending of the other one happened today. And, the questions have been brought to me like, well, what are you going to do about that first situation? I'm going to go out and get it. I'm going to make it my own because it's possible and I'm finna do it. So, where I'm finna be a year from now sitting on this couch, maybe in my house, maybe on a different couch too. I don't know. But I'm not going to be the same person that I once was. I'm not finna run from that because running and staying in the position that I'm currently in, it ain't going to serve my future self. In the other situation, no, I'm not engaging in it. If I'm not going to engage in it now, I'm not going to engage in it a year from now. I'm not going to engage in it 2 seconds from now. That's why I took that pause. Like, if it's a no now, it's a no then. Because I know what I need to do. I need to be stretched beyond this place of discomfort that I'm feeling as a result of going through this experience as I did. And for what the experience is, I've learned what I need to learn. I don't message receive, lesson learned. I'm ready for the new version of myself. Speaking of the new version of yourself in that process of saying, all right, yeah, I'm going to become somebody new. You have to I'm sorry, discomfort as being necessary for newness. Because if you going through life, if you going through experiences doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome, you need to go check yourself into the loony bin because you are insane. That's the very definition that they will say. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and trying to tell yourself that you're doing something different, or because you call for different in your life, that means it's different now. No, boo boo, it's not. If you doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again and expecting the same result, you are insane and you will not be equipped to be able to have the capacity to reframe discomfort as newness. Newness awaits on the other side of discomfort. So if you run up into that wall and you run back away from it, you never going to get to that level of newness. If you are going through life and you see discomfort coming and you push through it, there is a new something on the other side. It might be a new job, a new you, a new way to co parent, a new boo. Like, whatever the case may be, there is some level of newness on the other side. Is that ultimately what you want to get to? Every time, please remember this, every time you step outside of your comfort zone, you move closer to your authentic self and your authentic purpose. Don't do what other people are doing. Do what it is that you need to do in order to get your life to where you need to get it to, or maybe even to get your life right in the first place. Because you could be creating new generational curses to follow your children and their children and their children's children because you won't get sure about your North Star. You won't let that lead you. You won't let that be the thing that gives you comfort. You won't let that be the thing that takes you into alignment because you're stuck in the space of being in discomfort all the time. Push forward, push through it. If you don't know how to do that, hey, there are life coaches out there like myself that can help you to be able to do it. They can walk you through your paces, but it's up to you. They can't make you do it. You can lead a horse to water, player, but you can't make them drink. You feel me? Sorry, y'all. I needed that to make myself smile. Like, but it's true. Like, be on the pursuit of your North Star so you can unlock and uncover your most authentic self and your purpose. Now, let's talk about a little bit about, and I'll do this quickly, how the North Star guides you in daily life. Number one, it helps to align your decisions when your decisions align with your North Star. Once you've identified your North Star, use it to filter your daily decisions. Ask yourself this: does this choice align with my North Star? Does it bring me does it bring me closer to my purpose or take me further away? You have to think about the words that says. Does it take you closer to your purpose or does it take you further away? You can't run from that. Whatever you do or don't do, it's taking you in a specific direction. Choose wisely. Number two, it helps you to handle setbacks better. Life is full of ups and downs. I don't know if y'all know, but life is full of ups and downs. When setbacks happen, realign by looking to your North Star for direction. Like I said, it is a fixed point in the sky that helps you get to your destination. When in doubt, look up. Look at your North Star. Like, don't look at it as a bad thing, and even if you are at a point right now and watching this where you have not truly uncovered your North Star, like, just think about the thing, where is it that you wanna get to? What is the type of person that you want to become? That can be your North Star in its simplest form. Like, I'm not here for no more foolishness. None whatsoever from any of the people in my life. I give way too much to the people that I love. I give way too much to the people who function in my life than I am given. And I'm not saying anybody has to match what I give. God, it don't work like that. But you got to give me something. Or what is the point in us being connected to one another? Like, a couple different strategies you might be able to do to keep your purpose in mind during difficult times. Create a visual reminder of your North Star. Whatever your North Star is, like, one of the first things I take my clients through, and I get so excited about it, is we do a vision board. And in that vision board, like you got to really get 100% locked in on seeing what you need to see before you see it. Who do you want to be? What do you want your life to look like? What types of things are you going for or not going for in your life? What is going to be allowed and what is not going to be allowed? A vision board can help to, yeah, keep everything in perspective, help you to realign your strategy when it needs to. The visual reminder helps you stay connected to your purpose, even when challenges arise. When you see it daily, it anchors your mind back to what truly matters. It keeps it locked in your mind, it keeps it fixed in your brain to where it's just like sometimes that becomes like the only thing that you see first. And if what you see first, if everything else that comes in the vision ain't in alignment with that, nah, bump that, move that, no to that. I may think about it, but no, this is where I'm staying. You could also use difficult lessons to reinforce your purpose. Reframe obstacles as opportunities to strengthen your connection with your purpose. Ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? How can this challenge make me stronger in living out my purpose? But even in saying that, if you are not ultimately connected to what you want your purpose to be, you're not ready for that part of the strategy. Like, not at all. Because you're still not fully connected to your why. You're not even trying to see your North Star. But when it comes to like, using using discomfort, using what you've been through, using difficulties as a means to be able to say, you know what, and it's crazy because my therapist told me about this just a minute ago, in a message that I had sent him, and it was like he said it looked like I was using my past experiences as reference points to show how I can overcome. Mm, mm. And y'all may not know, but I have truly overcome. But when you take the opportunity to reframe obstacles, like it works because when you see struggles as a part of your growth process, they lose their power to derail you. Y'all know I love me some water analogies. They lose the ability to overtake you. Think about if you're at the beach, right? The tide comes in and the tide goes out, or I should do that the other way. The tide goes in and the tide comes out, right? So you can see this wave of an obstacle, of a difficulty getting ready to crash over you. And you're like, oh my God, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And you brace yourself. You go through the process of understanding what you need to understand about this wave, about water safety, about if you've ever watched Baywatch or any of these other shows, you go under the wave. And yeah, you may feel a little bit of the effects, but it's not going to completely knock you out. It's not going to completely knock you back because you saw it. You saw what the obstacle was, and you're like, okay, let me time it. It's coming. It's in front of my face. I'm going to go under. And hopefully, I can hold my breath enough to go past the rolling of the wave. But using what you know, using these processes of uncovering your North Star, of doing the vision board, of ultimately doing the work, like it lessens the power of other things to be able to derail you. Every challenge becomes a way to deepen your commitment to your North Star. I have a couple more points, and I am honestly, I'm going to create a handout with the remaining information and be able to give it to you because the next thing is like practical exercises that you can do in order to be able to find your North Star. But I want to present them to you in electronic paper form so that you can print them out or save them to be able to utilize them how you see fit and how what works for you best. Like, and I'll, kind of put a star or highlight the ones that actually work for me. And the ones that I've gotten good feedback on from my clients to be able to maybe give you a better starting point of, "Oh, okay, like she said this one may really be good," or, we could always start to work together as well, and then I can know 100% sure which exercise is going to help you in the pursuit of finding your North Star. Like, I encourage you to take the time to reflect on and discover your North Star with a gentle reminder that it is essentially a lifelong process that is not meant to be rushed. And I also want to encourage you to understand that it is something that needs to be a fixed point in your life. Life is ever changing. Things are ever growing, they're ever evolving, they're always different. But you can have some things for you or some things inside of you that remain a fixed point to help guide you through your journey of navigating to your destination. Yeah. And also, if you do know what or have an idea of what your North Star is, share it below in the comments. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Let me know. I look at it all because in you sharing what is your North Star, it helps me to not only be able to relate better to you, but it helps to be able to help me better relate to my other clients as well. And that is the purpose of why I do what I do. Share it throughout the week. Like, you can get creative, you can put up a post, like, if you do it, make sure that you tag hashtag Sunday sit down convos, or even my name, Nicole LaTreece, whichever one, you feel compelled to use, because I search for them all. But, yeah, share it. Like, let go of the fear of sharing your journey. Let go of sharing with your people, "Hey, I'm in the process of changing. I don't know what it's gonna look like." If I'm being honest, I don't know where you ninjas may be in the process, of me evolving, of me getting closer to becoming the woman or the man, the father or the mother, the son or the daughter, the husband or the wife, fiance, girlfriend, boyfriend. Any way you identify yourself, you're in the process of wanting to change. Let that be the first thing that you tell your people and alert them that you're in the process of changing. I invite you to share your journey of discovering your purpose. Remember, this journey of finding your North Star will not only keep you grounded, but will help you stay true to your authentic self through the mind reset process. Because we're about to get back into fully the mind reset process. Week one, we talked about limiting beliefs. Hopefully, you guys have still set with that one and you know, like, what actually holds you back. Maybe you've listened in a little bit more intently on my story, and it was me engaging in other people's foolishness. It was me not having conversations growing up to know how I should um carry myself to a certain extent. I knew things that I shouldn't do, and I knew ways that I shouldn't behave, like no lying, cussing, like all that type of stuff. But when it came to having conversations of how I really see myself and how I want to see myself as I continue to evolve and grow, I didn't have those conversations. So now, hopefully, excuse me, with you guys and also with my own daughter as well, and me sharing and putting these things out there, then Yeah, it'll go where it needs to be. Um, but we're getting back into week 2. Officially week 2. This y'all got 2 bye weeks because I know uncovering the limiting beliefs and realizing how restricted and held back you actually are, it may have made you feel some type of way. So, all right, we going to these 2 past weeks to this week and last week was about, all right, what we going to be locked into as we continue to move forward in this process of the mind journey. I want to say thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in. Make sure you come back next week for official week 2 in this mind reset journey, where we will discuss how to make your own luck by changing your thoughts and the law of attraction. But if you're like me, luck ain't got nothing on my God. So some of that is going to be added into it too. Um, I just want to say a quick thank you to Brittany. Hey, girl, thank you. Letting me know that you are joining me tonight and letting me know that this message is resonating with you and you felt like it was a good message. Yeah, and that makes me feel good. That pumps up my tank to keep my foot on the gas. Catch Chris. Hey, girl. I've been trying to get in touch with you for a while now, but I understand that you're busy. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. And I hope we get the opportunity to link up, and have conversations in real life. And to any and everyone else that is watching and following along with this, I just ask that you please, please, please help me push this message forward. Share it, share it, share it. Follow me on social media, on all of my stuff. If you're YouTube, it is Forever Nicole LaTreece. If it is Facebook, it is Nicole LaTreece. And then if it is Instagram, it is Nicole_Latrice. I am not going to hold y'all any longer. Thank you for brightening up my day, for brightening up just everything with my ability to share this with you. As always, please go out and make sure you are in the pursuit of living a good life filled with real love and all of the above. So until next Sunday, I will see y'all then. Love y'all and